Greetings and welcome to CRT Gaming Podcast, episode number 32, In the Hunt.
The cunt.
In the Hunt, friends. This is Jones, and with me this night are my good friends Dazpick and Gohan. Mr. Gohan, sir, are you more of a Denzel Washington or Sean Connery sub-commander?
You know, all I can say is the Dark Anarchy Society is no longer taking submissions for recruits.
The Daz Society?
Yeah, that was my question, because
submissions for recruits. You see what I did there?
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Clever Trevor.
So I was curious.
It's Connery all the way. So,
does Daz spell his name D-A-S or D-A-Z? Because I want to know, are you secret Dark Anarchy Society?
Society.
Society. It's like Z. It's like starring Brad Pitt in the Daz movie.
That's what should totally play you in your biography movie.
Yeah, that's an accurate representation right there.
Just shredded Brad Pitt.
Just ripped. Yeah. Ripped and sweaty. From gaming. From hardcore gaming. Just pure ab sweat from all the hardcore gaming.
Gotta dull it down for the ladies, you know. You can't.
A wife could barely handle it.
Oh, well, we were doing games we haven't played before. And back when we were doing our shooter series, I kind of came across this game. I never even heard of it. Didn't know it existed, but I thought it looked pretty cool. So I went with that for our choice because I wanted to play it. So to me, this kind of was almost like playing like a Neo-Geo game I never knew existed. It was like a brand new game. I know it wasn't for the Neo, but that's totally what it reminds me of. But what did you guys immediately, your initial impression upon hitting the start button on this thing?
Metal Slug. I mean, it was like watching, water-based Metal Slug. Just the style and everything. And I know you told us, but I mean, even without you having told me, I'd have been like, Jesus Christ, this looks like Metal Slug. Hey, man! Just the way it felt, everything. Like, everything was, like, really animated. Yeah, it was cool as shit. I really enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah, I mean, when I hit start, I mean, Irem, the name kind of shot up on the screen, and they made some of my favorite games of, like, the retro era, like, the first time I remember seeing the words Irem on a screen was with Moon Patrol. And Moon Patrol, back in the day, just for the time had such cool like animation and personality, even though it was just such a primitive game. But big fan of the Kung Fu, and of course like their big title is R-Type. But yeah, I mean, like as I was saying, like the attention to detail in this game is insane. Totally see why this team became the Metal Slug powerhouse after this, and like you're saying, it's just like it almost feels like a tech demo for Metal Slug. The look, the feel, everything. But strangely, this game just wasn't on my radar back in the day.
No, like I said, I totally have never even heard of it. So I think it's a lot harder than Metal Slug. There is a lot going on. Like
My
there
God,
is
there
a
ever.
tremendous amount of things going on in this game.
Just when you think you're safe, the volcanoes blow up in your face, and
or an
you're
angry
like,
coelacanth.
I'm good.
An angry coelacanth comes charging at you.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of shit happening. It was awesome. I definitely credited my way through it, but it was, man, I would have hated to pay for that. How many credits I used? It was brutal.
Yeah, I would like to see someone one credit this game because it's. And I know that person exists because, I've seen this. One. Yeah, and they have a version you can buy on the Switch for it that has like an online leaderboard, and like the number 2 player has got like a 2.7 million score. The number 1 player like's got like 70 million. So there's like a huge gap between 2 and 1.
Wow.
So I like to see what that guy's doing, because there's times where there's just too much. Like, it's just completely overwhelming. But it's fun. I gleefully, credited my way through it.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, as I was playing through it, just, watching your sub explode was a treat, because it was just so overly animated, which I really enjoyed. That every little thing was so animated, the way the helicopters turn around, and like the backgrounds, like the volcanoes erupting around you and spewing rocks on you. You shoot a underwater mine and it blows up into a million, like 50 bullets, each one of them, each one of the freaking mines. It was just tons of little shit happening that was just like, oh man, that's freaking cool.
Yeah, the animations were really, really nice. Like the little touches. Like, there's one level where there's like these little like apartment condo houses kind of along the dock area, and they're just getting completely ruined, like just turning into dust. And
the one where you're shooting the buildings that are underwater, you have to shoot through it to get to the other side of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah.
That was freaking awesome. That was really cool. Because at first I was like, all right, how the hell this building's still in my freaking way? What's supposed to happen here? You had to find the weak point. You shoot your way through it. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, the gameplay for this, like, it's awesome. It's a horizontal shooter, right? For folks that haven't played it, it's a horizontal shooter that doesn't force you to scroll forward like most games, like Gradius or R-Type. So you can kind of like poke forward and kind of maneuver around in ways that are just kind of not typical for a side-scrolling game. And it was really awesome. Like, the sub kind of had two different modes of play. There's like the underwater, moving around, and then there's when you got close to the waterline, where you got to do like surface to air attacks against, the different planes and choppers and like battleship destroyers and stuff. Like, this game does like a lot of cool, like, little innovative things that are not typical to the horizontal shooter genre. Yeah,
like I said, you were basically attacking in like three ways at the same time. Like, you had either missiles, mines, or rockets, depending on the power up that you had, shooting upward, torpedoes, projecting forward, and then kind of dropping depth charges beneath you, which is, like, you have things attacking you from all these angles. So it's hard. Like, you have to watch the entire screen, and you cannot blink. Blinking is not allowed.
No.
There was also, like, I know on one boss, like they were like pulling the water towards you, so you had to fight against the current of them pulling towards you, and then sometimes it was like the current of the section you were through, where it was going faster and things like that. So you're actually having some maneuverability challenges on top of, everything and their mother attacking you simultaneously in every direction.
Well, you have like a lot of shooters like that. I would say like, you go up against these odds, like you have to fight all of this and everything's shooting at you trying to kill you. Usually you have a little smaller vehicle, like your hitbox is a little smaller. Now, you're a giant sub.
Big ass sub.
You're this blimp that's moving around the screen, basically.
Yeah, it's slow. It's not real fast. And
you can almost hear the forklift beep sound as you're backing up. It's so slow.
Yeah, I mean, mayhem is the name of the game. Property damage, just like in Metal Slug, is just awesome. Whether it's like blowing up the glaciers, I mean, besides just, blowing up the bad guys, but just like the glaciers, the bridges, and the buildings. And there's the one level where it's like the temple, and you have to like shoot upwards to kind of dig yourself out of the the boss fight. Like, pretty much if you can shoot at it, you can probably blow it up in this game. And yeah, I mean, the power-ups are super cool. Between the regular torpedo, and then there's like the cluster one, and then there's like the power torpedo, and that one is just so. That one's so cool looking. Like, it does like this trail. Like, the railgun kind of like ripple, shockwave behind it. Like, that was just so awesome looking.
I didn't live long enough to see any power-ups. I think as soon as I picked something up, I was dead. Because I know I picked up a lot of shit, but I never saw anything other than the vertical missiles and the depth charges and the torpedoes. That was it.
Yeah, you can like keep leveling up. Like I mean, don't don't get it twisted. I didn't like get like super leveled up, power through the game by any means, but there are times I had, if you could maybe cut like 30 seconds out of gameplay, you would think somebody good was playing it. Immediately followed by a credit. Let's see.
Yeah, I really did like how, because at first, I saw the helicopters overhead and they were shooting at me, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just firing up. What the hell? But the missiles wouldn't break the surface. And I'm like, damn, what do I got to go up to the top? And then you had to get up to the top and actually stay up there and, dodge everything that's underwater while shooting missiles up at the helicopters and shit above water. That was freaking awesome. It was just such a nice touch. I did get some kind of power up there that eventually I had like homing missiles when I fired out of the top, but then I died 2 minutes later.
Yeah, the homing missiles or like the anti-air, like the Gatling guns.
Yeah,
when you breached, like that was kind of awesome seeing. But like when you get close to breaching, it's kind of like you have like a mode change, where it's like other things get activated. I mean, yeah, the difficulties it's real. The first few stages are, I wouldn't even go as far as saying easy, like they're challenging, but God, the middle stages the heat gets turned up. Oh yeah, and the last few levels are punishing, and sometimes in a good way and sometimes in not a good way. There's definitely a fair share of like kind of cheap shots kind of from behind, and the one section that I just got demolished in was the section where the ballistic missiles are firing vertically, like they're firing upwards.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
right. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's like a one pathway that you have to, navigate through, and then if you screw it up, yeah, you're blowing up.
Yeah.
And I think I nailed it like one time, and then after that, because you have to do it like, multiple times to make it through the whole thing, because there's multiple missiles launching nonstop. Yeah, It was madness. Yeah, then I screwed it up once, and I was like, all right, screw this. And I just ran straight through it. Credit it!
Yeah, I will go back and play this a couple more times, try to get a little better at it. But my second run was, I would say, 100% better than my first time. My first time was just pure pocket full of quarters. Yeah.
It really does take some time just to learn the ropes. Really, it does.
For sure.
Oh, well, then I learned the little stars you pick up. They're kind of pointless because if you get 100 of them, you get a free guy. So it's like,
sweet.
Yeah, just 100 of them.
One free guy. I've only used 200 by the time I get the 100 star.
Changed the outcome of everything. But
yeah, it was that was a solid find, for having never played it, man. That was, it's from the Metal Slug pedigree, man. I mean, those are amazing shooters from the get, and just knowing that this is like the inception of that, it was awesome. Because I love the Metal Slug series.
Oh, Metal Slug's amazing.
Right after you showed it to me, I was like, oh my God, I gotta play all of these, and I did every freaking one of them. And not knowing about this was just like, Christmas present, because it was bad as shit. And I'm glad I have it on the Switch because I can, play it anywhere. I played it while I was watching some trash TV with the wife, and I was like, oh, this is pretty awesome. Just blasting my way through it.
We keep kind of mentioning Metal Slug, and I mean, in very much like Metal Slug, the levels are great and completely themed. There's the shipyard, and then there's like the open ocean, and then there's the one level that's like the sunken city with the lightning storm, and you're flying through all the cool building debris. There's the caverns, right, with the lava, rocks, pelting you every time. Point is like they really didn't repeat anything here. Like every level was unique. And the last level was just awesome looking. I mean, it was like the huge underwater like factory-based thing with all the like water ripple
was cool.
Distortion on it. Like it looks so cool.
I would have liked like talked about Metal Slug. Like Metal Slug is great for a lot of reasons, but one of the things I do like about Metal Slug is kind of the over-the-top kind of cartoon violence in it. So
Yes.
I was thinking at the end of this game, when you get through it, like all these little people come out and they're kind of like running around, jumping into the water and stuff like that. I would have liked to have seen them like in the game, just being in part of these cities as they're just getting completely just decimated.
There's some grim humor in Metal Slug, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, even the last boss, when you're, dropping the rocks on his face, and just faces just get shredded.
Oh yeah, his eyeball gets popped out.
Well, oh yeah, no. We need to
Yes.
talk about these bosses. Okay, so there's like the mecha steampunk brine shrimp boss at the beginning. The one boss that completely blew my mind was that. I'll try to do my best to explain it. It's like the assembly line boss, where the ball turrets get like built and repaired while you're fighting it.
Yeah,
and you have
that
to like
one's tough.
That one's and you have to go underwater to kind of like get out of the way of its machine guns, and then you kind of pop up and pelt them. Like that one, I just thought was like just hugely noteworthy. But so hold on, we need to talk about the giant rock golem boss with like the prison tattoo across his chest. Like,
Yeah, he's got like some.
what's going on here? What is DAS involved with? With this creature,
Well, he's got like on top of everything else, he's got like thug life, written across his chest, and and he's climbing up this giant chasm after you. Okay.
Thug life wants out.
And then when he gets up there, so out of nowhere, he's got like a third arm, and it comes up punching at you. Like you have no idea until it happens. I was like, what?
I don't know if that's an arm, Jones.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it might have been his leg, third leg.
Dude, it's just like so over. That's where you see actually a little bit of the Metal Slug personality come out, because right, Daz, it's like you shoot its like skinless screaming head in a void. It's like weird sperm eyeballs that are like
Where are they
chasing
coming
you
from?
Where are they coming from?
His eyeballs are in his head still.
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, just shooting down the rocks and just making him come down and just smash him in the face. And then his face just got all bloody. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Please. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
He might have to become the CRT, Twitter banner image. It's just so amazing an image to see in a video game.
Thug life.
But yeah, there's like the Gamera boss, with the like three-headed turtle thing, The one boss that I thought was kind of lame was the last one. Like I was just based on what I had seen up until that point, I was just expecting something insane at the end of the game.
Yeah. I agree. It was more
just
of a
basically like
chore.
super rocket. It was like a super torpedo that you're basically taking out. Like I was expecting something insane, especially after the.
Oh, that's right. That was the last boss.
Yes. Yeah. The big like ultra torpedo.
I like the big golem guy
he
better.
had presence.
Yes.
I walked away with questions.
Yeah, the torpedo thing was just really long. That just took a long time. It was cool. I mean, there were so many pieces to it. But yeah, the golem guy was way more interesting. I really like that.
Yeah, I thought one thing was kind of neat on the Switch version. You could actually, I don't know if it's truly the manual, but there is a option to look at the manual, and you can read the story about this game.
Oh God, I gotta know what's going on here.
Okay, like apparently powerful magnetic weapons of mass destruction. They were used, screwed up the surface of the Earth. Okay, 75% of land on Earth underwater. 80% of humanity has been wiped out. Okay, that's the past. It's now 93 years later. I don't know why 93, but Daz is back. And
I am.
you gotta get in the sub. Get to work. Or it's gotta get worse, I guess. I don't know. Well, apparently that dude's climbing up out of the hole. It's gonna get a lot worse. He comes out. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's not getting better. He's not coming for a party.
So the backstory is like this water world. What was that thing in the G.I. Joe TV show, the mass device? Where it's like they screwed up, the pole of the Earth, and everything's just sideways.
Oh my god! Yes.
Like the weather dominator went crazy.
It's a deep cut.
But it is pretty cool. Something that was kind of cool that I'll let you guys check out after we get done recording is the team that left Irem went and formed Nazca Corporation. Did some I think they did like Metal Slug 1, 2, and X, I think. And then that they were acquired by SNK and then kind of dissolved, and they went on to still form another company. It's called, what was that called? Granzella, I think might have been the name of it. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they made this game called City Shrouded in Shadows. Have either of you heard of this game? Okay.
No, me neither.
It's on the PlayStation 4, but it's import only, so it's only in Japan. And it's like a total rip-off of all Godzilla characters, Ultraman characters, Evangelion, literally angels in Evangelion, and it's not it's kind of like it. It's no, that's it. But
10% of it's changed, but it's
no, nothing's changed. They're just not called angels. That's what's changed.
Somehow that made it past legal.
Yeah, somehow. But essentially you're in the city when these monsters attack, and you're a normal third person, it's played in third person, but a normal character size. So you're a normal human size, and you gotta get out of the city. And so and Godzilla's come to town, Ultraman showed up, King Ghidorah. It looks pretty amazing. I would like to check this out, but I'll send you guys a link to it. It could be terrible, but it's definitely something that looks interesting.
That is awesome that they're still working together, after all this time. I mean, I think folks listening understand, we like researching the games that inspired us growing up, and especially learning about some of these hidden gems. And one of the things that was definitely apparent is whether it was people from the Moon Patrol team or the R-Type team or, this team, the Metal Slug team, they have all been working together for a long time. So it's cool to know that they're still making awesome games together. So
yeah, I did. I really enjoyed it, and it just kind of reminded me so much of a Neo-Geo game. I know it is not, but I can't really describe how else it could make me feel. I did read they had a Super Nintendo version in the works that never saw the light of day, and I don't see how that ever could have saw the light of day.
Yeah, I'm frankly shocked that the PS1 didn't get deep sixed by all the action going on screen. I mean, the Super Nintendo, no way it could hold a candle to it. No,
because I played Hunt for Red October on the Super Nintendo, and it was pretty bad. And if you compare it to this, you couldn't even compare it to this. It'd be like comparing Surround on the 2600 to Disc of Tron in the arcade. That'd be the difference of it.
Doesn't hold a candle.
No.
So yeah, I mean, do we want to rate this? I mean,
yeah, we never.
We haven't played it before, so it seems like
to review.
It's like a review because we've been doing kind of retrospectives. So do we want to put a number on this thing?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Would you like to go first? Do you have a?
Oh yeah, I mean, like you guys, and I think that both you said it. This is high praise. It feels like a Neo-Geo game that never existed. Basically, it is a complete hidden gem. It's kind of one of the when we play games like this, it makes me happy because this is kind of what our podcast is about finding some of these things that we missed. And I know you guys were a little kind of lukewarm on the Raiden project as a shooter, but if I had known about In the Hunt back in the day, it would be right up there on that list of must-play PS1 pixel shooters, especially with the co-op feature. I mean, especially with that. So I would definitely put it at like, you know, an 8 easily.
Yeah, I would totally echo your score. I think it's a solid 8, like a minimum 8. I think you know, like if you broke your review up into subsets, like, you know, like for 2D animation, I'd give it a 10. It was amazingly diverse and animated.
Hands down.
It was insanely hard.
Yes, for sure.
But it is fun. It's definitely fun. How about you,
What would you think? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely an 8 or 9. I mean, I enjoyed, like I said, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I wasn't good at it, but I mean, it's with the kind of game that you have to sit down and learn how to get good at it, because it's freaking hard, and you have to learn where everything's coming. And even then, I mean, Christ, there's so many things on screen. You know, I'll never be a top tier, but I did enjoy it. So yeah, 8 or 9 for sure.
Awesome. I think that's a good, fair score for this game. It was good to check it out finally after almost 30 years. Since it came out in 93. That's crazy. But I mean, like, for how it looks, like, it looked great on the Switch. I mean, you know, if that came out today, I wouldn't have any real complaints about how it looked visually. But we're doing games we've never played before. And Gohan was supposed to have picked something over the past week. Maybe he can let us know what he picked.
Yeah, I mean, playing this game it was kind of a, you know, flashback to, you know, that time period. And, you know, I'm a massive fan of the Metal Slug series, and so I thought I'd kind of do the opposite. I became a Metal Slug fan kind of afterwards, but the game that I'm picking, I was a huge fan of the series on the NES, but after the NES, I kind of lost touch with the series, so I was a huge fan of the Mega Man series on the NES. I played 1 through 6. I was one of those people that bought the NES games, even though the Super NES was already out. But for some reason, after the NES, I kind of stopped playing Mega Man. And I wanted to check out Mega Man 7 for the Super NES. Never played it. Love the Mega Man series, but I don't know if y'all, you know, have played this game. But I'm going in blind on this. But I'm a huge fan of the NES games, but never made the jump to you know, 16-bit or 32-bit Mega Man.
Oh, I'm not sure if I've played this. I played some of the X games, like Mega Man X, but I don't think I've played 7. I don't know. I'd have to I'll know when I turn it on, I guess. But yeah, I like Mega Man. Mega Man can be hard, fun, but it's usually a good time.
All right.
Oh, cool. We haven't done a Mega Man. I guess stay tuned next week when we do Mega Man 7 on the Super Nintendo. Till then, this is Jones with Dazpick and Gohan, and we are signing out.
Until next time.
Later, suckers. Come on.